Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Parkland Institute released a report this morning called From Bad to Worse, Residential Elder Care in Alberta. I'll table that report shortly. It turns out one of the best ways to make a fortune is to run a private, for-profit assisted living facility. Average rate of return on investment, 9.14%, way better than the stock market. But at the cost of inferior care for our seniors and terrible working conditions for our staff. To the Premier, what's more important to you, stellar returns for your private buddies or dignity and comfort for our seniors?
Honourable Premier.
Mr. Speaker, the most important thing for this government is to ensure that the Alberta seniors, who are vibrant members of our community, have choices with respect to where they want to live, Mr. Speaker. And let's be very clear, Alberta seniors have told us they want to have that choice. Now, Mr. Speaker, that's about accommodation. Health care for seniors is publicly funded, and we're committed to doing more of that. We'll continue to do it because we have the best record in the country, Mr. Speaker, from the fact that we have put additional supports of 33% in place since 2009, that for low-income seniors, we've brought in special needs assistance programs, which have added $27 million this year alone to low-income seniors.
Unbelievable.
Speaker, all evidence clearly indicates that publicly funded and publicly delivered long-term care is key to providing dignity and comfort and world-class care to our seniors. The Premier once recognized this. In her leadership, she talked about publicly funded and publicly delivered care, not privately delivered. In the election, she promised to increase long-term care spaces by 1,000 in 5 years. To the Premier, and that's long-term care, not continuing care. To the Premier, you promised more long-term care, more publicly funded care, yet your minister is cutting long-term care and making it privately delivered. Who's running the show here?
Well, Mr. Speaker, what the evidence indicates is that one of the best places to be a senior in this country is, in fact, in Alberta. And, Mr. Speaker, I challenge that honourable member to deny the fact that the broadest possible range of services for seniors living at home, independently in the community, and seniors who need facility-based care is anywhere other than the province of Alberta. Yeah. Mr. Speaker, most provinces can achieve a 33% increase in home care over 3 years. Most provinces cannot achieve the building of 1,000 additional living spaces that accommodate all levels of care, Mr. Speaker, not just long-term care, not just supportive living, and services that we're proud of.
Honourable Leader.
Mr. Speaker, that's not what the Parkland report says, and there's a difference between long-term care and continuing care. Interestingly enough, today's findings reinforce Dr. John Cowell's Health Quality Council report from 2012. His report found staffing levels in care were best at public facilities and worst at private for-profit facilities. Today's report says staffing is sometimes so low that seniors are put in diapers because staff don't have enough time to take them to the bathroom. And it can take up to 2 hours to answer the call bell. To the Premier, the man hired to administer the health systems is something very different than what you say and this minister says. Why should we believe you and your minister instead of Dr. John Cowell?
Honourable Minister.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The honourable member is very well known for non-sequiturs and trying to draw connections between things that simply don't connect. The fact of the matter, Mr. Speaker, is that quality is the common denominator among all services that are provided in this province, whether they're not-for-profit, private providers or public providers, Mr. Speaker. For this honourable member to stand in this House and to deny the facts that the honourable Premier has presented, that I presented, the Associate Minister for Seniors has presented, is simply we can only conclude, Mr. Speaker, a desire to undermine public confidence in services for seniors, a failure to recognize the efforts of frontline staff, and a complete...
The Honourable Leader.